Hello there. My name is Stephen Long, and this is a testimony of my life. Like I said, my name is Steve, and I was born in Norman, Oklahoma, at Norman Regional Hospital. There's a population of about 113,000. I grew up in a small town called Noble. It was just on the outside of Norman. Let's see, where do I begin? I was about 6 years old when I had my first taste of alcohol. I remember sitting there watching cartoons while my uncle would give me little sips of beer here and there. And I didn't think anything was wrong with it, you know. I was 6 years old. I couldn't really think of anything else, you know, that would be wrong at that age. I just remember enjoying the taste of it. And as I grew up, that's all I thought about constantly was how it tasted. I can remember a time, I was about 11, me and my parents, me and my sister and my mom and dad went on a trip to Las Vegas, and I was about 11 years old. I think I said that, but I was 11, and on our way back, my mom had some cash with us because we went to Las Vegas, and we stopped at a cafe. I think we was in New Mexico, and my mom was inside, everybody was inside eating. Well, I wanted to go back out to the car, and I seen my mom's purse sitting there, so I reached in there and I grabbed $200 out of it, and I stuck it in my pocket. And as far as I know, my mom didn't know about it. She never said anything about it. So I took that, and when we finally got back and settled in, there was a friend of the family's, and he sold marijuana. Well, I took the $200 that I got. I was 11 years old. I took the money and I bought all the weed I could with it, all the marijuana I could with it. At the time, I thought it was really cool, but it wasn't. Through age 11 through 15, I found ways, any ways that I could get weed and smoke it and drink without my parents finding out. My cousin always got it, so it was really okay, I guess, at the time, but as I grew up, you know, I could usually get it from anybody in my family, you know. I was drinking at 15 as much as I could. My parents got really worried about me. They sent me to live with my aunt and uncle in Texas. I was there for about 6 months, and while I was there, I found ways to get it there too. God was trying to talk to me then and work in my life. I went to church, got saved when I was 16, went to a church camp called Falls Creek, but I ignored God, and I kept doing what I wanted to. So me and my mom, my dad, my sister, we moved to Norman from Noble, where I was born at. I really thought things would change and get better, but they got even worse. Anytime I wanted to drink alcohol or smoke marijuana, I just went down the street to a family member's house. That happened for a little bit. I was about 17 when I got this job working in the meat department, and a guy that lived down the street from me, I met him, and we started hanging out, and he introduced me to some of his friends, and one of them was a meth dealer, and that was the first time for me doing crystal meth. Me and the dealer became friends. I did meth and was drinking a lot. I think I was around 250 pounds at the time, and in the course of 2 years I dropped down to 150. I was doing anything I could to get it. Lying, stealing, cheating, it didn't matter. And one day, I was close to 19, me and the dealer and his girlfriend was going down the road, and we got into a bad car accident. We almost died. And so I guess for some reason, the way our minds was, I guess, he thought he owed me something because we almost died together. So he started giving me crystal meth for free. It was like, and I was young and lost. I was so lost, you know, by doing these drugs and everything like that. I was so lost, and I was getting this for free, making money, and I was, at that time, I thought I was living on top of the world. I was just, but I know that I was lost. I don't know what I was thinking. The whole time God was trying to talk to me, saying, Steve, buddy, it's wrong. Let it go. But I didn't listen. I just kept on going. And all of this was going on. I almost died on meth. I was 20 years old. After that, I cut down on meth and started trying other drugs, I guess, because I had an empty spot in me. I didn't know at this time, I didn't know it was God that this is what I wanted and what I needed. But I started doing all these other drugs, acid, PCP, pills, alcohol, and anything I could get my hands on. I moved to North Carolina with my brother. I moved to Texas before, but I moved to North Carolina this time to get away from it again. And I met a girl down there and started doing everything again. And we were going together at the time, and we moved back to Norman. I brought her with me. My son was born. It was in the year 2000. I almost died on meth the first time, and then this time I almost died on pills. I was taking Xanax, and I just kept taking them, and I forgot, I guess, how many I took, so I just kept taking it, and I overdosed on them. I remember waking up in the hospital just not knowing what happened or anything else. It was scary. It was really scary. I wouldn't put that on nobody. Spent the next 7 years in and out of drugs, lies, cheating. And that girl I split up with, and my son went to my parents' house, and I went on drinking and staying with people I thought was my friends at the time. But when you're in that kind of world, you know, your friends, you think that they're your friends, but they're really not. They're just there for convenience, because, oh, well, this person can't get it for me, so I'm going to go to this person. That's all that they're there for. I was staying at my parents' house in 2007, and my mom, she was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma. It was a form of cancer. It hit me pretty bad, and I was really sad at the time. But really, all it did was just, it gave me another excuse to drink some more or smoke dope. You know, it just gave me another reason, an excuse. Well, my mom passed away May 9th of 2008, and I kept doing what I was doing. Just kept on going. Well, 2 years later, I met my wife in 2010. I got married and knew I wanted to be with her for the rest of my life. So, I love her so much, but I treated her wrong as well. I had this job, and it was a really good job. I was delivering oil pump parts to the oil rigs. I was going here. I was going up in the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, going to Arkansas, just everywhere, making pretty good money. And I was away, and I thought to myself, well, I'm going to go to this bar over here, and nobody's ever going to know. Nobody will know. So I went, but the thing with me is, I can't just have one and stop. I have to take a little bit and just go with it. I have to, if I drink one sip of alcohol, then I have to drink a case. If I smoke, if I take one hit off a cigarette, then I have to smoke the whole pack. Now, I have an addictive personality, and but I treated her wrong, and I did her wrong, but she's still with me to this day, and she's never left my side. She's a wonderful woman. We started going to church. And I remember God trying to talk to me and make me listen when I was younger. And now He was up close and personal. And I still drank, but I had stopped everything else. And got a new job, and I started going to the bars and stuff with my coworkers, because I was trying to fit in, because we would argue all the time, and I just didn't want to argue, so I just went to appease them and drink and do that. But I married, and I had 4 kids, so, but I started trying to please them, and one day I got a Bible verse, one of those Bible texts that you get on your phone, and God was speaking to me then, and it was Galatians 1:10, and I will remember this for the rest of my life. I was sitting there in my car before I was going to go into work, and it popped up, and I'm getting chills right now just talking about it, but Galatians 1:10, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or God? Or am I still trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, then I would not be a servant of Christ. And that right there was, I broke down. And it was God trying to talk to me all that time, and I finally listened. I got the picture, and I was like, well, what have I been doing? What have I been doing? He's been working on me ever since. Ever since. Never knew that God loved me so much. But now, after it's all said and done, I don't mess with anything anymore. We go to church 3 times a week, Bible studies on Fridays. All I have to say to anybody in my testimony, and I hope it helps somebody somebody that's watching this, I really hope that it helps you. Because God's good. God's great. All you have to do is just open your heart and listen. That's all you have to do is just listen to Him. Because He will work in your life. He's blessed me. After everything that I've done, He still loves me. He will still love you too. He's blessed me with a beautiful wife and 4 beautiful kids. And I will never, ever go back. It wouldn't be worth it now. It wouldn't be. Well, I want to thank you. Like I said, my name is Stephen Long. And that was a testimony of a little bit of my life. And how I got to where I am now, today. I love everybody, and God bless everybody. Have a wonderful day.